I don't understand it, but I'm gonna try to make some sense of it. Like I'm on the side of Shani at this point. Like you taking away from the kids that don't really have the option to. You feel what I'm saying? Because you have rape victims and you have people that being put in certain situations that you know what I mean that they didn't necessarily was trying to get themselves into. You know what I'm saying? It's like you like no whatever. You got to keep that. You understand? People are kids and people make mistakes, right? I don't condone it. I'm not. You know what I mean? As far as like if you lay down, I do agree with him at that point, right? If you do lay down, you know what I'm saying, you should have a baby or whatever. But it's between the two people that's having a baby because whatever you do, you know what I'm saying, it will reflect on the child like this. If you didn't want that child and you're forced to keep that child, you're going to start treating that child a certain type of way because in the beginning you didn't want that child. Now we have some cases like that. We some that we don't, but we have some cases that's what I'm referring to. And then they look at the child like, damn, you know what I'm saying? What your dad did to me type of, you know what I mean? So every time I look at you, I look at him type of, you know what I mean? So you have to deal with that kind of shit. And then that's fucking up the mental of the kid because he's feeling like, damn, my mother or my father or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the circumstances is, don't love me.
Neglect. Yeah, neglect.
Because now you done sat there and was forced to have a baby that you really necessarily didn't want to have, or y'all both decided y'all didn't want to have, or he didn't want to have, or you didn't want to have. However the case go, you are subjected to keep this baby. Let's say, quote unquote, if that is the ruling, right? There's too many victims out here for that. So basically, he contradicting himself because he like, well, if this happens, or if this happens, or if this happens, we can have a conversation. No, the conversation is at hand. It either it is or it ain't. It ain't no having no discussion later about something that's factual right then and there. Not like, oh well, well if we're subjected to have people are subjected to keep their babies, they're not allowed to abort their babies, right? We'll talk about that after they've been assaulted. No, you talk about it right there and there. How you gonna try to change the aspect of the rules on how you want it or wish it to be if you don't have a solution for when this shit happens? We'll get there when we get there. Nah, you there now. Like that's just like you trying to buy a house and they don't tell you, oh no, there's some shit that's kind of wrong with it, but I'll tell you about that shit later. No, I want to know about that shit now before I buy this motherfucker. Because all I know, this motherfucker might be infested with termites. This motherfucker might be falling to the ground, and you want to show me the rest of the blueprints that I need to see to make sure this foundation of this house is stuck here. And not like 2 years later, this motherfucker gonna start caving in.
Right.
I need to see it. Show me the proof. Show me how, if this exists or this is what you want it to be, show me how it's going to make sense when this situation comes up right here. When you got motherfuckers getting kidnapped on the street and shit happens to where they might end up being pregnant. You mean to tell me they have to keep their baby? Now, you might have some cases to where they might, but you know what I'm saying? If you've been in that kind of situation, not saying that I am not a woman, so I can't really speak on that aspect, but from every aspect that I've heard, tells me that ain't the one that ain't the baby that they want to necessarily keep. So you're taking an option away on certain aspects that you cannot really take the like. You know what I mean? It's so it's like, okay, if a woman get impregnated by a fucking serial killer, she's forced to have that baby and hope that the baby is not genetically in back home with the serial killer instinct mind that his. Come on now, make it make sense to. She might be walking around the house one day, not even know if she gonna die.
That's facts.
All because you forced her to have something that she knew was wrong to have because of the situation that she was put in, and you're taking that option away from her because you feel like she needs to keep. Y'all did what y'all did. Hell, yeah, they did, but she didn't. You know what I mean? She didn't consent to the shit.